What is true love? I mean, really, it's a question people have been asking forever, right? Well, today, we're going to dive into one pretty profound answer. And what's so cool about it is where it comes from, a place you would never, ever expect. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the start of a riddle, right? But seriously, this is the big question for today's explainer. We're about to unpack a story that starts in probably the last place on earth you'd look for a big life lesson, and you'll see how it blossoms into this really powerful message. Okay, so our story kicks off in a, let's say, unusual classroom. Danbury Prison. Yep, a prison. It was right there that the author of this philosophy was, doing time, and he saw something totally ordinary happen. But this one little event, it completely changed how he saw everything, especially the idea of love. All right, so picture this. You've got these inmates, and they're building a tennis court. But then it starts to rain, and it just doesn't stop for 20 days. So work is totally on hold. When they finally get back out there, they realize they've got a new neighbor. A little waterfowl had moved in and built a nest right nearby. And the crazy part? Her camouflage was so good, she was practically invisible. A total master of disguise, just blending right in. And he watched her, right? And he noticed she wasn't just sitting there. No, she was strategic. Super clever. To keep her nest location a secret, she'd never fly straight to it. She'd land way off somewhere else and then sneak in from a totally different direction every single time. And you better believe if anyone got too close, she'd come flying out ready to fight to protect those chicks. This was more than just instinct. It was like a masterclass in how to protect what you love. And this right here, this is the turning point. This is where the story goes from just, hey, look at that bird, to something way, way bigger. The author looked at this little bird and saw more than just an animal protecting its babies. He saw a living, breathing example of what true love actually is. So what's the big takeaway? According to this idea, inspired by that bird, true love is a heart that's willing to sacrifice everything, its own life even, to protect its young. And here's the key part, with zero calculation, no weighing the pros and cons. It's just a pure automatic impulse to give and to protect. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Love gives, but then forgets even the fact that it has given. It's not just about the act of giving. It's about giving and then completely forgetting you did it so you can turn around and just give again. It's this endless, happy flow, kind of like a mother feeding her baby. The joy is in the giving, not in getting a thank you. Okay, so from this bird, we have this incredible idea of selfless love. What's next? Well, the author takes that concept and applies it to the one place he thinks it's supposed to be practiced and perfected, the family. For him, the family is so much more than just, people living in a house. It's the foundation for literally everything else. So you can see this direct comparison here, right? The bird's nest on one side, the ideal home on the other. The whole idea is that those same instincts we saw in the bird, that selfless protection, that sacrifice without thinking, that's supposed to be the main subject in what he calls the school of love. And that school is the family. It's basically where we learn how to live for other people. And according to this way of thinking, the family's job is, well, it's huge, absolutely monumental. It's not just some social thing we came up with. It's seen as the only institution that was actually created by God. Think about that. It's a school for love, a training ground for peace, and it's the place where the kingdom of heaven is supposed to get its start, right here on earth. Wow, so that puts a ton of responsibility on the parents, right? The argument here is that no matter what, even when things are tough, the most important thing is for parents to show a loving, peaceful, united front. Because that feeling, that atmosphere of joy and love, that's the most valuable education any kid could ever get. So you might be wondering, where does this kind of incredible, selfless love even come from? Does it just happen? Well, the author is really clear on this point. Nope, it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It has a very specific source. A divine one. And this is how it's supposed to work, like a river of love. It starts with God, the ultimate source. Then it flows through the parents. They're like the channels or conduits. And from them, it flows down to their kids. So in this view, parents are this absolutely crucial link in the chain, passing that divine love from one generation to the next. And that leads to this really powerful statement. Parents are like a second God to their children. Whoa. I mean, that's a big deal. The idea is, since parents are the ones channeling God's love, they sort of become the face of that love for their kids.
So when a child loves their parents, they're kind of, in a way, loving God, the original source of it all.
All right, to pull all of this together, there's this really beautiful and simple metaphor that's used. It describes the perfect family as a bundle of love. So let's kind of unpack that bundle and see what's inside, shall we? So, what's in this bundle of love? Well, you've got a wonderful father and mother, you've got beautiful children, you have a kind, benevolent grandfather and grandmother. It's this whole picture of a complete, multi generational family, just thriving together in a home that's overflowing with God's love. And just like that, we've come full circle, right back to where we started, with this core definition. Think about it. We went from a little bird on a prison yard all the way to this big vision of the ideal family. And the message has been exactly the same the whole time. True love is just this endless cycle of giving without ever keeping score. You give, you forget you gave, and you just get ready to give again. So as we wrap this up, it really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? A pretty powerful question. When you think about this whole idea born from watching a little mother bird, you have to ask yourself, in my own life, how do I define love? Is it about what I get, or is it about what I'm willing to give?